සුතං ඒකං සමයං භගවා සාවන්තියං විහෙරති 제තවනේ අනාථ පින්ඩිකංස ආරාමේ අතකෝ අඤ්ඤතරා දේවතා අබින්කන්තාය රන්තියා අබින්කන්තවන්නා කේවල කම්පං 제තවනං ඕවාසෙන්වා යේන භගවාතේනුපසංකමී උපසංකමින්වා භගවන්තං අභිවාදෙන්වා ඒකමන්තං අන්තාසී ඒකමන්තං තිතාකෝසා දේවතා භගවන්තං ගාතාය අංජබාසී බහුදේවා මනුන්සාච මංගලානි අචින්තයොං ආකංකමානා සොන්තානං බ්‍රෝහි මංගලමුන්තමං අසේවනාච බාලානං පණ්ඩිතානං ච සේවනා පූජාච පූජනීයානං ඒතං මංගලමුන්තමං පතිරූපදේශවාසෝච පුම්බේච කත පුඤ්ඤතා අන්ත සම්මා පනිදිච ඒතං මංගලමුන්තමං බාහු සංචංච සිම්පංච විනයෝච සුසිංකිතෝ සුභාසිතාච යාවාචා ඒතං මංගලමුන්තමං මාතා පිතු උපට්ඨානං පුන්තදාරංස සංඝෝ අනාකුලාච කම්මන්තා ඒතං මංගලමුන්තමං දානංච ධම්මචරියාච ඥාතකානංච සංඝෝ අනවංජානි කම්මානි ඒතං මංගලමුන්තමං ආරති විරති පාපා මංජපානාච සංයමෝ අප්පමාදෝච ධම්මේසු ඒතං මංගලමුන්තමං ගාරවෝච නිවාතෝච සන්තුන්තිච කතං යුතා කාලේන ධම්ම සවනං ඒතං මංගලමුන්තමං කන්තිච සෝව චන්සතා සමනානංච දන්සනං කාලේන ධම්ම සාකච්ඡා ඒතං මංගලමුන්තමං තපෝච බ්‍රහ්මචරියංච අරිය සංචාන දන්සනං නිබ්බාන සංචිකිරියාච ඒතං මංගලමුන්තමං පුන්තංස ලෝක ධම්මී චින්තං යන්සන කම්පති අසෝකං විරජං කේමං ඒතං මංගලමුන්තමං ඒතාදිසානි කන්වාන සම්බන්තමපරාජිතා සම්බන්ත සොන්තිං ගච්ඡන්තිතං තේසං මංගල මුත්තමන්ති ඒතේන සංච වංජේන හෝතු තේ ජය මංගලං ඒතේන සංච වංජේන හෝතු තේ ජය මංගලං ඒතේන සංච වංජේන හෝතු තේ ජය මංගලං කරණීය මන්ත කුසලේන යන්තං සන්තං පදං අபிසමිච්ඡ සක්ඛෝජුච සුජුච සුවචෝචං සමුදෝ අනතිමානි සන්තුන්සකෝච සුභරෝච අම්පකින්චෝච සල්ලහුකවුන්ති සන්තින්ද්‍රියෝච නිපකෝච අම්පගම්බෝ කුලේසු අනුනුගින්දෝ නචකුන්දං සමාචරේ කිංචි යේන විඤ්ඤූ පරේ උපවදෙය්‍යං සුඛිනෝ වාකේමිනෝ හන්තු සම්බේ සන්තා භවන්තු සුඛිතන්තා ඒකේචිපාන භූතන්ති තසවාතාවරාවා අනවසේසා දීඝාවායේ මහන්තාවා මංජිමාරංසකානුකතුලා දිත්ථාවායේව අන්දින්තා යේච දුරේ වසන්ති අවිදුරේ භූතාවා සම්භවේසීවා සම්බේ සන්තා භවන්තු සුඛිතන්තා නපරෝ පරං නිකුම්බේත ඥාති මඤ්ඤේත කන්ත චිනං කංචී ව්‍යාරෝසනා පටික සංඥා ඥාඤ්ඤ මඤ්ඤංස දුක්ඛමිච්ඡේය මාතා යතානියං පුන්තං ආයුසා ඒක පුන්ත මනුරංකේ ඒවම්පි සම්බභූතේසු මාන සංභාවයේ අපරිමාණ මෙත්තංච සම්බලෝකස්මින් මාන සංභාවයේ අපරිමාණ උන්දං අදෝච තිරියංච අසංභාදං අවේරං අසපත්තං තින්ඨං චරං නිසින්නෝවා සයානෝවායාවතන්ස විගතමින්දෝ ඊතං සතින් අදින්ඨේය බ්‍රහ්මමේතං විහාරං ඉදමාහෝ දින්ඨින්ච අනුපගම්ම සීලවා දන්සනේන සම්පන්නෝ කාමේසු විනය්‍යගේදං නහි ජාතු ගම්බසේයං පුනරේති එවං මේ සුතං ඒකං සමයං භගවා සාවන්තියං විහෙරති 제තවනේ අනාථ පින්ඩිකංස ආරාමේ අතකෝ අඤ්ඤතරා දේවතා අබින්කන්තාය රන්තියා අබින්කන්තවන්නා කේවල කම්පං 제තවනං ඕවාසෙන්වා යේන භගවාතේනුපසංකමී උපසංකමින්වා භගවන්තං අභිවාදෙන්වා ඒකමන්තං අන්තාසී ඒකමන්තං තිතාකෝසා දේවතා භගවන්තං ගාතාය අංජබාසී බහුදේවා මනුන්සාච මංගලානි අචින්තයොං ආකංකමානා සොන්තානං බ්‍රෝහි මංගලමුන්තමං අසේවනාච බාලානං පණ්ඩිතානංච සේවනා පූජාච පූජනීයානං ඒතං මංගලමුන්තමං පතිරූපදේශවාසෝච පුම්බේච කත පුඤ්ඤතා අන්ත සම්මා පනිදිච ඒතං මංගලමුන්තමං බාහු සංචංච සිම්පංච විනයෝච සුසිංකිතෝ සුභාසිතාච යාවාචා ඒතං මංගලමුන්තමං මාතා පිතු උපට්ඨානං පුන්තදාරංස සංඝෝ අනාකුලාච කම්මන්තා ඒතං මංගලමුන්තමං
Namo Buddhaya, brothers and sisters in the Dharma. Very good morning to all of you out there. I was very happy to see many of you have joined us well before our 9:30 session starts. Welcome to all our Dharma friends from all over. We have friends from the north until to the south to Johor Bahru. Welcome to the Sunday morning Buddha Puja service. Great that you're all spending the Sunday morning for the Puja service and to listen to the Dharma talk with your families. Just remember during the Buddha Puja service to have a calm mind, right? To those of you who have prepared a candle or oil lamp to offer at your altar, wait for the announcement to light the candle together with Venerable Dr. Dhammapala. To those who have joined us for the very first time, welcome. This is our 56th online Sunday Buddha Puja service. We have been organizing this weekly online Puja service in order to give an opportunity to Buddhist devotees near and far to continue with our Buddhist faith and practices. And of course, having the opportunity to listen to the Dhamma during this COVID-19 period. Let us prepare ourselves by sitting comfortably, relax our bodies, compose our mind, let go of thinking about the past and future. Be at the present moment. Remember, you may continue to share the link with your family. Give us a like and put on your comments how you felt about it. I shall hand over to our Puja leader, Sister Ansu.
Thank you, Brother Chuan. Good morning, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Namo Buddhaya. Let us begin with our Sunday Buddha Puja service. With respect, may we invite Venerable Dr. Dhammapala to make the offerings to the Buddha. Brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, you may also light your candles or oil lamp and make the offerings to the Buddha. Brothers and sisters, let us place our palms together in Anjali position and contemplate mindfully. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato. Brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, let us pay homage to the Triple Gem. Buddhang Pujami, Dhammang Pujami, Sanghang Pujami. Brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, together we shall invite Venerable Dr. Dhammapala to administer to us the 3 refuges and the 5 precepts. Ahang Bante Sangsara Vata Dukkato Mochanataya Tisaranena Saha Pancha Silang Dhammang Yachami Anukahang Katwa Silang Deta Me Bante. Jutiyampi ahang bante sangsara vata dukkato mochanataya tisaranena saha pancha silang dhammang yachami Anukkahang katwa silang deta me pante Tatiyampi ahang bante sangsara vata dukkhato mochanataya tisaranena saha panchasilang dhammang yacchami anukkahang katva silang deta me pante
นะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะ
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
ติสารณะบุตตังสารนังกัจฉามิ
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
ธัมมังสารนังกัจฉามิ
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
สังฆังสารนังกัจฉามิ
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
ดุติยัมปิบุตตังสารนังกัจฉามิ
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
ดุติยัมปิธัมมังสารนังกัจฉามิ
Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
ดุติยัมปิสังฆังสารนังกัจฉามิ
Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
ตติยัมปิบุตตังสารนังกัจฉามิ
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
ตติยัมปิธัมมังสารนังกัจฉามิ
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
ตติยัมปิสังฆังสารนังกัจฉามิ
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
ปัญจศีลปานาติปาตาเวรมณีสิกขาปะดังสมาธิยามิ
Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
อดินนาดานาเวรมณีสิกขาปะดังสมาธิยามิ
Adinadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
กาเมสุมิจฉาจาระเวรมณีสิกขาปะดังสมาธิยามิ
Kamesu miccacara veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
มุสาวาทาเวรมณีสิกขาปะดังสมาดิยามิ
Musavada Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami
สุราเมรยมาจปมาดัฏฐานาเวรมณีสิกขาปะดังสมาดิยามิ
Suramiraya Majjapama Tathana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami
อิมานิปัญจสิกขาปดานิสมาดิยามิ
Imani Pancha Sikkhapadani Samadhiyami Imani Pancha Sikkhapadani Samadhiyami Imani Pancha Sikkhapadani Samadhiyami
อัปปมาเดนะสัมปาเดทะ
Amabante Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu
Buddhanusati, recollection of the Buddha. Iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vichacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu anotaro purisa dhamma sarati sat Tadeva manosanam Buddha Bhagavati Dhamma Nusati, recollection of the Dhamma. Soakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehipasiko Opanayiko Pachatang Veditabo Vinyohiti Sanghanusati, recollection of the Sangha. Supatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Ujjapatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Nyayapatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Samicipatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Yadidang Chattari Purisa Yogani Atta Purisa Pogalam Isa Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Ahoneyo Pahoneyo Dakineyo Anjali Karaniyo Anotarang Punyaketang Lokasati Chetya Vandana, salutation to the holy shrine. Vandami Chetiyang Sabang Sabbatane Supatititang Saririkadatu Mahabodhi Buddha Rupang Sakalang Sadang. Bodhi Vandana, salutation to the Bodhi tree. Yasamole nisinno va sabari vijayang akang pato sabbang yutang satang vande tang bodhi padapang Ime ete mahabodhi lokanatena pujita aham pite namasami bodhiraja namatute. Padipa Puja, offering of light. Ganasarapaditena Dipena Tamadansina Dilokadipa Sambuddha Pujayami Tamonudang. Dhupa Puja, offering of incense. Gandha sambarayutena dupena hang sugandhina pujaye pujaniyantang puja bhajanamuttamang. Pupa Puja, offering of flowers. Vanaganda gunopetang etang kusuma santating pujayami munindasa siripada saroruhe. Ojemi Buddhang kusume nanena Pungena mettena cha hotu mokang Popang mirayati yata idame Kayo tata yati vinasa bhavang. Paniya Puja, offering of water. Adivasetu no bante paniyang parikapitang anukampang upadaya patigan hatumuttamang. Asking for forgiveness. Kayena vacha cittena pamadena maya gatang acayang kamame bante buripanya tathagata. Kayena vacha cittena pamadena maya gatang acayang kamame dhamma sandetika akalika. Kayena vacha cittena pamadena maya gatang acayang kamame sangha supatipanna anuttara. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Namo Buddhaya, Pande, brothers and sisters in the Dharma. This morning, we are very pleased to welcome Venerable Dr. Dhammapala again to be with us in our Sunday Buddha Puja. Venerable Dr. Dhammapala will be giving a Dhamma talk in both English and in Mandarin on a topic I think many of us will be very interested to listen to. And if you have any questions pertaining to this talk, you may type your questions in the comment section, and we shall then invite Venerable Dr. Dhammapala to reply your questions after the Dhamma talk. However, due to time constraint, we might not be able to answer all your questions. I think most of you, if not all, already know Venerable Dr. Dhammapala very well. But for those who may be new with him, let me introduce Venerable Dr. Dhammapala. Venerable Dr. Dhammapala was born in Kuching in 1970. He was ordained as the Upasampada Bhikkhu in Wat Chong, Kedah in 1994 under the most respected Chao Kun Praraj Dhammatara, who was the chief Samis Sangha Nayaka in Malaysia. Subsequently, he sought spiritual dependence under the guidance of Bhante Dhammasakaro Mahathero. He spent 15 years studying Buddhist philosophy and Pali and Sanskrit literatures in Sri Lanka and in Hong Kong. In 2009, Venerable Dr. Dhammapala obtained his doctorate of philosophy in Buddhist studies under the supervision of the famous professor Venerable K.L. Dhamajodi in the University of Hong Kong. After his graduation, he was appointed as the chief editor and spiritual director of the Buddhist Door website, one of the oldest and largest Buddhist websites in the world. In 2010 to 2013, he was a visiting assistant professor at the Center of Buddhist Studies, the University of Hong Kong. He traveled frequently, conducting meditation retreats, Dharma talks, and teachings in Malaysia, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and China. Venerable Dhammapala is now the abbot of Brahma Vihara Monastery and Retreat Center in Malacca, and is also a monastic advisor of the Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia. 今天我们很开心的有这个机缘，能够请到法护比丘为我们佛法开示。今天的题目是农历7月鬼节。We are very happy this morning to invite Venerable Dr. Dhammapala to give us a Dhamma talk on the 7 Lunar Month Ghost Festival. 我们尊敬的邀请法师 ，with deep respect, we invite Bhante.
นะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะ Okay, good morning. This month is the 7th month of the lunar calendar, which is in Chinese called the month of ghost or Chongyuan festival. So this is the month, according to traditional Chinese belief, the ghost will come out and wander in our living surrounding. So Chinese celebrate ghost festival, which seems to me a more festive celebration. 这个月呢是我们华人一年一度庆祝的这个我们叫鬼节，或者是叫中元节。那这个7月份呢也是鬼呢纷纷出来溜达月份。不知是要欢庆还是忌讳的这个月份哦。看样子呢我们华人还是把这个鬼节办得非常欢庆的这个样子。Anyway, when talking about ghost, Chinese are scared of this month of ghost. And many Chinese believe that the first day of the 7th month of the lunar calendar is the day of opening of Hell Gate, right? And the dead ancestors and the so-called spirits roaming around the living surrounding during the month-long celebration. And they roam around in search of food and seeking for helps. So during this 1 month long period, Chinese people from various traditional beliefs will perform various kind of festive ceremony or sacrifices or rituals, such as preparing a very grand altar, right? Offering various kinds of food, cakes, drinks, and burning, paper money to departed ancestors and spirits, and of course, wild ghosts, for getting peace of mind. However, in the Theravada Buddhism, there is no such kind of belief that the ghosts come up in the 7th month of the lunar calendar. Of course, they live with us throughout the year. Instead, ghosts are everywhere and living with us in a surrounding, and their numbers are more than human beings. 那华人呢，一旦讲这个鬼呢，就是鬼节呢，就是普遍还是非常担心害怕的。那华人普遍相信呢，就是在每年就农历7月1日开始呢，阎罗王就会下令呢，打开这个地狱之门，那让那些呢在中年饱受苦难禁哭在地狱的这些冤魂恶鬼、这些厉鬼呢，走出这个地狱，那可以在这个人间溜荡30天，那享受人间食物。所以华人传统民间呢，就会在这期间还会进行很多不同，真的就是让人看了这个眼花缭乱也非常欢庆的这个祭祀孤魂野鬼的法会。那也表示呢对死去先人的怀念，还有就是求个心安理得。但是呢，在南传佛教国家呢，鬼并不是呢只有在农历7月呢才跑出来。那其实鬼呢是无所不在这些鬼呢其实就是生活在我们的四周围。那当然，他们的数量呢比人类还多。So there is a well-known story, right, widespread among Chinese community. It is an account of Mulian, Mulian in Chinese, or Sanskrit called Mauglayana, or Pali is called Moggallana. Then he is looking for his mother after her death. Then after Venerable Mulian attained Arhathood, he wanted to repay his parents for her nurturing, but found that his mother was born in the realms of hungry ghosts. So he felt deep sadness for his mother. He filled a bowl with food and went to look for his mother. However, as soon as the food was placed in his mother's palm, it immediately turned into the burning coals, which could not be eaten anymore. Although Mulian possessed a great psychic power, still, he can't help his own mother. So he approached the Buddha for help and advice. The Buddha told Mulian that his mother has done a great karma, and it could not be helped by the power of a single monk, but can only be helped by the power of the great assembly of Sangha community from 10 directions. So the Buddha taught him on the 15 days of the 7 lunar month, which coincide with the end of 3 months retreat, which is also the day of Pavarana, right? It is the day, of course, when we talk about the Pavarana, it's the day of mutual repentance, right? It's asking forgiveness among the Sangha each others, right? On that day, to do the Ulambana Mahasankika, that is a great offering to the Mahasangha. Then taking this opportunity to offer food and robes to 500 bhikkhus. Then by the power of dedication of merits by 500 Sangha members, his mother was able to be released from suffering of hungry ghosts and gain a rebirth in the heaven. And because of this act of filial piety of Mulian, right, there is this popular custom, right, among Buddhists to do meritorious deeds and dedicating the merit to departed ancestors and relatives during the Ulambana ceremony. 那在民间就是普遍就是广泛流传大家就是家喻户晓的这个故事，那就是佛陀的这个大弟子，就是目犍连的故事。那成道后的这个目犍连呢，他想就是要度化他父母，就是来报答他父母的养育之恩。那他用这个神通就是他的神通力观察，就发现到他的母亲呢就投身在这个鬼道之中。那他一度呢非常伤心，于是呢目犍连就想端饭给他的母亲，但食物呢还没有进入他的口呢，便已经化成了这个火炭了，所以呢他的母亲无法食用。我们都知道目犍连呢是佛陀弟子中就是神通第一，就是有广大神通。那当然虽然他有广大的神通呢，但对于他的母亲的业报呢，他仍然是没有办法的。于是呢他就向佛陀求助，那佛陀呢就告诉目犍连，他的母亲呢罪业很重不是一个人可以成就的，所以应该仰仗十方深重之力方能救度。于是呢佛陀呢教他就是在农历7月15就是在生前安居3个月圆满日当天就是说在当天自知日自知日的意思就是出家人的这个忏悔那么建这个盂兰盆这个大会法会，那为以故父母供养十方大的深重并以此大功德呢帮助他的母亲脱离这个恶鬼道于是就有了这个农历7月15供养十方僧众以超度这个亡灵的这个习俗所以呢这一种的传统呢延续呢到现在所以呢每年到了这个农历15呢这一天呢，华人还有我们佛教徒呢都会进行这个盂兰盆法会为办这个超度法会来供养或者是供养这个十方僧众来济度三恶道苦难的众生脱离这个苦难。Okay, there is another significance of the Ulambana ceremony. Okay, and why the merit of offering to the Mahasangha is so great and auspicious on this day, right? That is because in Chinese Buddhism, right, monks and nuns have observed 3 months retreat, right, started from April 15 to the July 15, so 3 months. And of course, they have achieved a great spiritual accomplishment in their practice during 3 months retreat. Then, of course, at the end of 3 months retreat, the monks will come from all directions to report to the Buddhas on their progress of spiritual practice. And they will ask forgiveness from each other and gather to make robes. So the Buddha was very happy that all his disciples had achieved spiritual progress. And because of this, we call these days a Buddha joyful day, right? Of course, the lay community will not miss this rare opportunity to accumulate merits for themselves and for their departed parents and relatives. Then they supported, right, the Mahasanghas, and with the merits that acquired through the offering to the Mahasanghas, be dedicated to the ancestors, parents, and relatives. The merits that acquired by offering to the Mahasanghas during the 15th day of the 7th-month lunar is tremendous. And of course, the similar practice is also practiced in Theravada Buddhism, but the date is different, right? It falls on November. It means 2 months later, during the months of Katina, then the months of making robes. So now let us look at the word Ulambana, right? Of course, this is a Sanskrit word derived from the prefix uk, right? Uk means up. And the root, right, is lam. Lam here means to attach. meaning to attach up, right, to lift up. So during the 7th lunar month, right, or Hungry Ghost Festival, people celebrate Ulambana ceremony, meaning to bring the ancestors up, from the hell to the heaven. Then on these days, Buddhists practice, right, in Ulambana festival, instead of traditional belief, praying for ghosts, for protection and fortune, right, Buddhists will take this opportunity to make offering to the Sangha of 10 direction, to liberate beings of the 3 lower realms from suffering, so as to repay their deep kindness of parents. So this is the day also, the day of filial piety, right? It's the day to show gratitude to our parents and ancestors by remembering and paying respect to them. 那为什么呢？在这一天我们说共生的这个功德很殊胜呢？因为呢，在北传佛教呢，就是出家人就是在3个月这个安居圆满。这3个月安居是从农历的4月15到7月15，3个月呢安居圆满。那僧众们呢，在修行上呢都有成就了所以呢，在安居结束当天呢，僧众便会从四面八方都会云集在一个地方这样佛陀汇报，就是他们修行上的经过。那当然当天也是自知日，他们也会互相忏悔那当然也会做袈裟。于是呢，佛陀他非常的欢喜，就是弟子们在3个月呢这些安居期间都有所修正所以呢就有了这个佛欢喜日。当然护法居士呢也不会错失这个难得供养的机会。那在僧众安居圆满后呢，居士们便恭敬的供养护持僧团，那也希望呢将功德回向给他们已故的父母和亲人，尤其是在企业所做的共生功德呢，将是无上的。那么这个 Ulambana 这个字呢是梵文字就是由这个 ok and lam 这个就是子根，就是这个 root 这个 lam 的意思就是黏着、浮着的意思就是黏所以呢，在农历7月期间呢，人们庆祝这个卫赛节，这个盂兰盆节 Ulambana 的意思呢是将把他们的祖先呢从地狱呢超度上天堂。所以呢，我们中文的超度其实就是 Ulambana ok and lam 超度上来。所以佛教呢将这个中元节鬼节跟这个鬼节好像整合并在同一天就是佛教徒呢参与这个盂兰盆呢，不是求这个鬼神给什么4个号码6个号码而是要供养十方僧团并将功德回向三恶道众生往生上去。那同时也报答父母的恩情，所以呢，在这一天我们也感恩我们的祖先就是我们的父母呢对我们无私的奉献报答父母的养育之恩。所以呢那当天也是孝亲日。好So in the Pali Suttas, right, of Theravada Buddhism, right, there is actually no such Ulambana Suttas, nor the story of Moggallana, right, saving his mother. So Moggallana here referred to the above story, right, I have said earlier, is probably not the same person, right? 那么在这个上座部佛教这个巴利经典里面呢，那其实没有这个盂兰盆经当然也没有这个目连救母的故事。所以呢，这里的目连应该以巴利经典上座部这个目连尊者也许不是同一个人也许，但也不能否定这个故事。Okay, so there is a general belief among Chinese, that people will be reborn as a ghost after death. However, this is not necessarily the case in Buddhism. Right? If the departed one did many wholesome deeds in his lifetime, right? Such as generosity, precepts and meditation, like sila, dana, sila and bhavana, etc. When his wholesome karma matures before death, he will be reborn in heaven or as a human. Then conversely, if the departed one has done a lot of bad karma when he's still alive, if he doesn't repent, right, when that bad karma is matured before his death, he will be reborn in hell, right, or animal kingdom after death. Therefore, people do not necessarily become ghosts after death. That depends on their karma, right? 那么首先呢，人死后会不会做鬼呢？华人普遍呢都相信人死了就做鬼嘛。那当然在佛教呢，这个是未必。那对于一位已经往生的这个亡者呢，如果亡者生前他做了很多善的这个功德，譬如他做了布施做了很持戒或者是禅定，这些很多的善业呢，那么在这些善业呢，在他临终前成熟的时候呢，那他死后呢就会往生到天界或者是人界。那当然相反的就是，如果亡者他生前做了很多恶的业呢，那当然又不懂得忏悔了，又不懂得悔改了。那当这些恶业呢现前的时候，在他临死前成熟时呢，那他死后肯定会投身在地狱或者是畜生界。所以呢，人死后呢不一定会做鬼当然是依他们各自的业而定了。And 当然 if a person, right, is reborn as a hungry ghost after death, and we can say that is his maturation of his previous unwholesome karmas. And there are various types of hungry ghosts. Not every type of hungry ghost can enjoy the sacrifice offered by the relative, right? Such as the hungry and the thirsty ghost, right? The burning ghost, hungry ghosts, right? Who are consumed by craving, and hungry ghosts who feed on vomit. To these hungry ghosts, they cannot enjoy the sacrifice offered by their relative, right? And these are recorded in the Milinda Bandha, right? Is another text in the Pali Suttas. 人死后会不会变鬼呢？当然，我们之前也讲了，就是依他们的业那也只能就是说他们的恶业呢现前。那么在这个弥林答问就是弥林的班这部经里面他也有谈到，就是这个鬼呢分成好几种类就是大类有这4种。那么不是每一类的这个恶鬼就是可以享用他们家人布施的这些食品那当然这些包括就是我们讲的这个饥就是很饥饿还有很渴的这个恶鬼 ，OK， 或者是呢很烧渴的恶鬼，就是烧烫很口渴的那种恶鬼，或者是专门吃人家吐的这些痰这类的这些恶鬼那么对于这些恶鬼呢，他们是无法享用到别人布施的这些食品的。Then there is a type of the hungry ghosts, okay? If the ancestors, relatives, and friends who were unfortunately reborn as Paradatupa Jivika, Preta, 这一类的恶鬼ghosts 呢 who live on the gift of others, and this type of ghosts can only enjoy the sacrifice offered by the human, right? 那么有一种情况就是假如是我们的祖先或者是亲人或者是朋友死后呢，不幸堕入了鬼道，但投身在这一类的鬼，就是我们讲依他施活命鬼那么在众多的这些恶鬼当中呢，只有这一类的这个恶鬼呢才能够享用就是人供养的这个供养的这些这些食品。Just like human, right? These ghosts, they are beings with 5 very subtle aggregates, and their bodies are much more subtle than human, until they are invisible, to our naked eyes. But of course, they have certain subtle sense faculties, such as, the feeling, right, the consciousness, and they have, these memory faculties. 那么就像这个人类一样哈，就是鬼类呢，它也是属于五蕴的有情，就是所谓的五蕴，就是他们还是有色受想行识，但是呢，他们的这个色身呢，比人类更加细微，就不是我们一般人类的肉眼可以看到的哈。所以同样的，他们也是有其他的这个关门啊，比如说这些感受啊，或者是心啊，或者是他们都还有记忆的，所以 ，OK。And where do they live? How is their looking, right? And of course, not all ghosts are miserable. You see, when we are talking about the ghosts, there are bad ghosts, right? Evil, and there are blessed ghosts, right? And when we talk about the blessed ghosts, they are particularly the fourth type. They are the Paradatupa Jivika. It means that ghosts who live on the gift of others. And these blessed ghosts, they have developed certain psychic power, right? Certain power, their inborn abilities when they were born, right? Such as they can change their body shape, right? They can appear freely, they can fly, they can know the mind of others, and they can attach to someone's body, right? Such as medium body, right? 所以呢，当我们讲这个恶鬼呢，鬼类众生呢，我们基本上可以说，他们有些是有福报的哈，那当然也是有一些也是没有福报的。那这些有福报的鬼呢，当然包括就是依他施活命鬼啊这类的鬼。那这一类的鬼啊，这类的这福报的鬼呢，他们都是有一些就是业力福带的这个鬼通啊，也就是说，他们与生俱来有一定的这个超能力。那当然，这个超能力呢，不是他们修行得到的这个神通，而是这些鬼神呢，他们与生俱来所以呢，他们可以呢变化他们的身形啦，他们可以呢就是隐形啦或者是可以变化啦，或者是他们可以在飞行，或者是他们也可以知道就是人他们心里想的是什么这样子。或者是能够呢在鸡童身上就是能够浮在这个鸡童身上，所以呢他知道说你的这个心跟他相应的话，他可以浮在你的身上所以他们有这种能力的。So these are the blessed ghosts, okay? And for those ghosts who have not married, right? Or we call miserable ghosts, we call them the hungry ghosts, right? In the Pali Suttas. And of course they are often, suffered, from hunger, thirst, right, and many other diseases. 所以呢，那当然还有很多这些没有福报的这些鬼神那当然佛教呢就称他们为恶鬼吧就是这一类的恶鬼呢，经常就是遭受这些饥渴啦、口渴啦，或者是其他疾病的这个折磨。So where do they live? No, then they live in our human space. Right, in our human space, and of course their food are diverse, right? And they live in the the cesspit, and they eat the feces, right? And some eat what they call the people's sputum, right? And some eat blood, right, in the delivery room, or some eat garbage, right? Or some eat smell, right, or smoke, and some eat food that thrown away is after offering to their ancestors, etc., etc. And of course, there are some blessed ghosts, right? They do not need to walk; they just wait for the believers, right, to offer sacrifice or food for them. And there are other ghosts, they have to go around, looking for food every day like us. You see, they have to go around and looking for food. 那讲到他们的这个居住在哪里呢？就是这些鬼呢，就是生活在我们居住的这个空间那他们的食物呢也是多样了。 那当然有些呢住在这个粪坑啊，就是专门吃这些粪便啊，就是很脏的食物哈。那当然有一些也是专门吃人们吐的这个痰盂啊，就是吐痰啊，专门吃这些。那有些呢可能在产房里面专门刺血啊，或者有些呢是吃垃圾，就是倒掉的垃圾，或者有一些专门吃那些气味或者是烟啊，或者有一些呢他们是专门吃人家祭拜后就是丢掉的这些食物等等啊。那么当然有一些也是有福报的鬼了啊，他们呢不用这么忙碌去寻找，他们只需要呢坐在那个就是我们说家里有时拜一些什么一些神啊或者是什么的，那你想神会来吃吗？那是不可能的。那会是谁来吃呢？其实就是这些我们说恶鬼到比较有福报的这些鬼神啊，就是他在等着他的信徒来供奉一些食物给他们啊。所以呢当然我们讲这些鬼神呢也跟人一模一样哈，就是他们也是经常要出去外面寻找食物了，就是非常的奔波劳碌这样子。Okay, so the ghosts are born in two forms. Okay, they're born of two forms. One is they're born of womb, right? Womb, mother's womb, right? They're born of womb. Another born of spontaneous birth, right? Or born of apparitional. And they are invisible, right? To the physical eyes, is it? And of this ghost, they also have gender, right? They're divided into male ghosts and the female ghosts. Right, and they have their own families, and as I said, they can give birth to the God's children, right? And of course, they do not have their own world, right? Like animal world, they have always been around with us, you see. And usually, where we find them, right? They live in the forest, or in the swampy area, right? Or in the cemeteries, right? So these are the places. 那我们讲这个鬼它的这个畜生有两类了，一个就是胎生另外一类是化身。这里的化身呢，就是他们自己就化出来了。好，那也有这个男女这个相的这个分别。那当然他们也有他们的自己的家庭，他们也可以生儿育女，他们也有他们自己的眷属。可是呢，他们并没有自己的世界，所以他们像这个畜生一样，就是呢一致都住在我们四周围，与我们共处。他们都会在哪里呢？就是在一些比较阴暗的，比如说森林或者在一些比较少人去的地方，比如说一些沼泽地方还有包括这些坟场那都是他们居住的地方。Then how is their looking? Of course, right, there are some good looking and some are quite ugly, right? And of course, some are blessed and some are not. And just like human, these ghosts still look similar to human. And they also understand that though they have died, but they don't know what to do, right? And they live in their, families, in their surrounding, right? And, near to their house, right? Watching their relative, watching their friends, helplessly. And because they are too free, they roam here and there, and they don't know what they can do, right? And how long is their lifespan? 那这些长相，这些鬼的这个长相怎么样呢？当然，在很多经典我们看到的就是这些长相呢，都是比较丑陋的了。当然也有一些比较好看的当然有一些鬼也是属于有福报的，或者有一些没有福报的。那他们其实跟人一样，就是大部分的这些鬼呢，他们都跟人长相都差不多那当然他们也已经知道就是已经死亡了，但不知道他们要做些什么。所以呢，他们可能会围绕在他生前熟悉的地方就是或者是住家周围就是无奈的就看着自己的亲人眷属或者朋友就很无奈的看着他们。所以因为他们太闲空了，那除了他们找食物之外呢，他们几乎呢都无所事事的 就是在那里漫游啊，所以呢，他们也很可怜，就是不知道他们自己到底寿命有多长啊。Then there is a kind of ghost called ghosts who live on the gift of others, right? Of course, they are much better and blessed than many other ghosts. And of course, this ghost will continue to wander around their loved one's family, like relative and friends. Sometimes they will show their appearance, right, to others, or make others, or making some unusual, right, strange phenomena or noises or sounds, something like that. So this is what most people call haunted, right? And of course, the first thought that most people have is very scared, and they want to drive away the ghosts away, right? And of course, to this type of ghost, right? Actually, they want to make other notice of their existence, and probably asking for food and marriage. So usually, people encounter this unusual, strange, phenomena, right? What they will do is they will ask the Taoist master, right, to exorcise, the ghost, to expel the ghost. Or they will come to the Buddhist monks, right? Then the Buddhist monk will recite some sutras or some protective verses. Then somehow, will turn out to be, chasing them away. So making them again homeless and become a wandering ghost. 有一些恶鬼就是死后投身在这个依他失活命鬼呢。那这一类的鬼呢，其实他们比很多的这些恶鬼啊福报呢好得多啊，所以呢，他们还会继续的，就是死后呢徘徊在自己留恋的家人啊，还有亲戚朋友啊的周围。有时他们会就视线给人家看，或者是做一些比较不寻常的一些奇怪的这些现象或者是做一些很奇怪的声音当然一般人就会说，这个会不会闹鬼了那当然对一般人来讲，有这样子的一个情况出现呢，他的念头第一就是当然感到害怕了。所以呢，他们就会想办法，就是把这些鬼呢，想办法把他们驱走。那这一类的鬼呢，他为什么会这样子做呢？其实他们是希望他的家人就是让他的家人注意他们自己的存在或者呢，透过这样的一个方法能够讨到一些食物或者是一些功德那当然我们会怎么做呢？就会请一些道士会想尽办法，就是把这些鬼驱掉那当然也会请出家人送一些经文或者是护卫剂。但很多时候呢，我们会发现到，就是会把这些鬼把他们驱赶出去呢，让这些鬼呢变成无家可归，就变成流浪鬼了。所以呢，我这里劝各位，就是假如你们家里有出现一些这样的情况的话呢，其实这些鬼呢都不是你们外面的人，是你们自己可能过去世的亲人，所以呢也是在暗示你们，就是可能这个时候呢要做点功德给他们，他们是跟你们来讨功德。Is ghost a soul? Right? And some people have a misperception and they thought ghost is a soul, right? Then of course ghost is not a soul. Then ghost is just another state of life with 5 subtle aggregates, right? And ghost is one of the beings of the 6 realms. Now, how about the soul then? Soul, of course, cannot be accepted in Buddhism, and it is a non-existent, concept that is assumed by many other religions, right, in the world. Then, of course, many other religions, they believe that the soul, right, is the essence of the human spirits, and of course is considered as eternal. So they believe there is I, or the true self, right, in the body. Right, after being separated from the human body at death, one can get the eternal life or return to the great soul, okay, or face the judgment of gods. So you see, if you don't believe, right, in their religion, right, then the God will punish you, right? Probably you will suffer in the hell forever. Right, in the Buddha's teaching, right, there is no such concept of soul, right? It belongs to the wrong view of eternalism. Okay, so it's a wrong view. 那我们华人普遍呢都有这样的一个错误认知，就是认为这些鬼呢就是灵魂啊。那其实鬼呢不是灵魂啊，鬼呢是六道众生之一。好，那这些鬼呢，就是之前我讲的，它只是一种有五蕴的生命状态，五蕴的这些细微的这个生命状态。但在很多的宗教呢，他们把这个灵魂当成是人类的这个精神本质也被认为它是永恒的那这里有一个我们讲灵魂呢，就是存在我们的身体里面那当然死了，这个灵魂呢就会与人体分开可以得到永生。那当然这个永生是说你信上帝的话呢你就有一点就是我们讲回归这个大我那么呢你就可以呢上天堂永远享受反之你就到地狱受苦了。那在这个佛陀的正法里面呢，就是灵魂这个概念是我们人类呢假设出来的 OK 它是不存在的，它是属于在我们佛教呢邪见中的这个常见sasattva 的。And why are we easily possessed by the so-called ghost, right? And I will give 3 types of people easily possessed by ghosts. And the first, people are of, we call it the low fortune, right? That means referring to those whose past unwholesome karmas are matured and experiencing their bad consequences right here and now. Okay. Then the second type is that where people who has no proper dharma, right, and very superstitious, and because of his bad karma in the past has matured, they're giving rise, right, to many other unwholesome thoughts, and that bad karmas continue to trigger more bad karmas, and such a vicious karmic circle, allowed the so-called non-humans who have a similar low bad karmic frequency with him, so they had the opportunity to occupy his body and mind. So this is what a person whose karmic frequency is low is easily liable to connect with the ghost. And of course, through the practice of samadhi, dhanas and concentration, these are considered as a high frequency. Then their mind is filled with light, joy, peace, and happiness. Then these people will not be liable to connect with the ghost. So this is what we say we have to, raise our frequency, right? Low frequency people are easily liable, connect with the ghost. Then the third, there is also another type of people who are easily possessed by non-human. You see, these people, they usually open their heart, to the non-human beings, right? Such as those medium, right? Or those who claim to be able to communicate with the spirits of the dead. And of course, those who like to practice some forms of magical power or certain mantras, a spell or incantation. So as a result, they attract, these non-humans of the low frequency, right, coming to attach their mouth or make his mind lost consciousness and control their body. Then, of course, we have said, non-human, right, spirit ghost has this ability. So 那怎么样的人呢会被这些所谓非人这些鬼附身呢我想这里提出3点，就是第一就是那些食欲比较低的人，就是我们讲一个人处在业的这个低潮那当然这个由于他的这个过去是恶业的成熟，所以呢他当下呢体验这个恶业的这个果报所以呢这个也是好。第二呢就是一个人心中没有法就是他内心充满很多很多的邪见，那再加上呢他也做了很多很多的这个恶业所以再加上他的恶业成熟这样的不断的这个恶性循环，所以呢这样子让他跟这个恶业的这些非人就是有机会可乘了。 就是可以占领他的内心。那我们说这种人会容易得到相应的这种的，通常都是一些比较，我们讲用现代的语就是一些低频率的人，就是指那些内心黑暗就是很容易呢招惹鬼上身。那相对一个有修行的人有禅定、有做布施持戒的人，这些都是比较高频率的人当然他们这些人呢，他内心是光明的而且也喜悦、也平静、也快乐，所以这些人呢不太会招惹鬼上身。那另一类呢，人也很容易就招惹这个就是鬼附身那么这一类人就会经常把自己的心呢开放给这些非人比如说像我们知道的这些乩童 OK， 或者是这些通灵者或者是问米之类的OK， 那或者是一些就是专门念一些古灵精怪的就是念持一些很奇怪的这些咒语或者是什么神功求的这些神通，或者是一些专门求一些特异功能的人。那么这些非人呢，会附在这些乩童就是他们嘴巴说话所以呢，有些也甚至呢会先让这些乩童呢就失去意识之后呢，然后就控制他们的身体。所以刚才我们讲的就是这些有些鬼界的众生，他们是有一些神通、超自然的这个能力就是说只要你跟他相应的话呢，他是可以进入你的身体的。Okay, then what should we do when someone possessed by a ghost, right? And some ghosts, right? We have said that some ghosts are composed of fine, salt aggregates, you see. So it means that they are surrounding us, right? They are floating around. And of course, they like to attach their body, right? Their subtle body to physical objects like trees, okay? Or tablets, or certain statues, or dolls, right? Or tablets or or stones, something like that. And of course include also humans as well as animals, right? Whether the object is living or the dead body. So in the suttas there are often records of non-human beings, right? Amanusa, which actually refer to the yaksha, asura, and ghost, and they can attach to the human bodies. So in modern time we often hear of people being possessed by ghosts. And ghosts, of course, they are very close to human being, right? Once they have the opportunity to attach, themselves to the human body, usually they won't give up, right? So if someone encounter non-human, then how should we do? And of course, the following I will suggest 4 protective measures, okay, to handle it. 那假设我们一个人被鬼附身怎么办呢？当然我们知道就是鬼呢就是6道众生之一嘛。那鬼呢它其实也是有一些细微的这个五蕴组成的这个众生，所以呢他们就漂浮在我们的四周围他们也很喜欢呢附在我们说有形体的这个物质上比如说他们附在一些树上或者是一些神主牌或者是家里放太多这些塑像也很容易招惹或者是一些什么玩具玩偶这类的东西，或者是饰杯这类的东西，甚至这些鬼呢也会附在这个人或者是动物身上不管这些是生的还是不管是活的还是死尸所以呢在经典就是常有记载，就是非人，就是经典说非人嘛那当然只要是非人的定义就是指那些什么夜叉修罗这些鬼，他们能够附在人身上所以呢我们现在也经常会听到一些人就是说被鬼附身那是因为呢鬼其实他很靠近我们人类而且他们对我们人的这个生活也非常向往，所以呢一旦有机会呢附上这个人的身体呢，他当然不会放弃啦。所以呢我建议有这4种的这个方法First, radiate loving kindness, okay? And of course, this loving kindness meditation is not unknown to you. Rather, is to wish others to be happy. And of course, I repeatedly emphasize, you see, when we recite the Metta Suttas or the Metta Bhavana, right? We have to understand the meaning, right? And with the object, right? If you are spreading, this loving kindness and compassion without knowing the meaning, it is just like the recitation of the sutras. That's it, right? And of course, there are many ways of spreading the loving kindness. Right? Like may you be well and happy. This is one type. Or may all beings be free from hostility and danger, etc., etc. Right? And these are set very standards of radiating loving kindness. And of course, we say that a person who practices loving kindness, usually they have gods to protect them, or they're usually beloved by God, or gods as well, right? And all non-human beings do not want to interfere with him. 所以第一类呢，我们可以就是散播这个慈心嘛，所以呢，这个慈心应该大家都不会陌生啊。所以呢，有很多经典我们都可以念的啊，比如说这个《应作慈爱经》或者是慈心颂啊，这些东西都是原文在巴利文。所以呢，当大家在念巴利文的时候呢，也要知道这个巴利文的意义了，要不然你只是念诵经文罢了哦。所以呢，我们要怎么发展这个慈心啊？所以呢，我们这里也不会去多说啊，但这里可能对大家可能都很清楚啊。就是一般我们在做慈心的时候呢，我们有一些标准的这些经文来念。好，那我们也讲到，就是一个有经常做慈心的人呢，慈心很强的人呢，就是经常会有很多这些天神啊，或者是非人守护着他，也包括就是很多鬼神也很爱护他啊。那么这些鬼神甚至也不想去干扰他的，甚至会护持他这样子所以呢，这是第一点。Then the second one, of course, is observe the 5 precepts or 8 precepts, or to chant certain suttas, right, or protective suttas. So it is best to recite 3 refuge and 5 precepts, right, before going out for work every day. And of course, it is good if you have a Buddha altar right at home. Then in this way, you can, recite the suttas, you can observe the 5 precepts, you can continue, accumulating merits. And of course, you will see the results, in the future. Then other than this, you can also spend a little bit of time, to chant, these protective suttas, and giving yourself a sort of protection. And of course, if it is even a simple tribute, right, to the Buddha's, its power of what I call protection, cannot be ignored. And the power of guardian verses, mainly come from the power of the truthful words. And the truthful words are the truthful words accumulated by the Buddhas in the past when practicing the Bodhisattva's path. And there are many times when Bodhisattvas using the power of truthful words to help others to escape from danger. So if you understand the meaning of the suttas while chanting, then it will be more powerful and it can help you leaning towards the good qualities and virtues and brighten up your mind. Okay? 那第二种就是受持清净的5戒、8戒，或者是诵一些护卫经。那当然这里我会鼓励就是大家在家里只要是有佛堂是最好那就在每天还没有出门之前可以念一个简单的3归5戒，或者一些简单的这个经文不要忽视了这种的这个力量因为只要是你一日这样的累积那在之后呢，你会看到一些不可思议的一些保护力量。那当然之外呢大家也可以拨一些时间也可以念诵一些经文当然这个也是给自己一种无形的这个保护所以呢哪怕就那么简单的这个我们说这个礼赞佛陀或者是赞颂这个佛陀的功德呢，这种的力量呢也是不可忽视的。那当然我们讲到这个护卫记呢，这些力量呢主要是来自于真实语的力量。那真实语呢是佛陀就是过去呢在他行菩萨道的时候他所累积的真实语的波罗蜜 那有很多回呢，就是菩萨，就是悉达多菩萨哈，就他还没有成佛之前，他还是菩萨呢，他运用真实语的力量来帮自己脱险，或者是来帮助别人。所以呢，所以当我们在念这个经文的时候同时又能够了解这个经文的含义呢，这种的力量更是强大所以呢，我们经常有念这些经文的人呢，我们的内心都是比较趋向这个明亮的。好，所以这是一点咯。Then the third one, maintain right mindfulness. Okay. So a person who can maintain a mindful thought has a stronger mind, right? And it's not easily to get distracted. So a person who maintains mindfulness is also settled in kindness, right? And the characteristics of kindness is also brighten up the mind. So in this way, it is very difficult, right, for outside forces, particularly the evil forces, right, to invert on the non-human being, invert, or this non-human being cannot harm him, right? So 第三种就是保持正念那么这个正念呢，就是佛陀的教导，就是我们时时刻刻呢要保持这个正念就是一个有正念的人呢，他的心是比较强大的，就是不容易散乱就是他的心呢比较能够安住于这个善心那当然这个善心的这个特点呢，就是使心更加的明亮当我们的心明亮的时候呢，外界的这些势力比如说这些不好的这些什么降头或者是一些不好的，就很难会入侵我们的身体所以呢，这些所谓非人呢，他也不会伤害我们那第四种，the fourth one is sharing merits. Okay, patidana. Okay, so to develop a habit of sharing merits with all beings who are visible and invisible, tangible or intangible, far or near, okay, every day. So sharing merits will not only reduce merit, but it will double the transfer of your merits. So it is very simple, to accumulate merit. So this month, for Theravada, we are doing the Patidana Day. We are doing the sharing of merits, you see. How to do the sharing? Of course, we have to accumulate merit and to share the merits, right? Then, this accumulation of 10 meritorious action is a method of accumulating merits, right? And, yeah, 第四种就是分享功德了。那当然讲到这分享功德，就是我们每一天养成每一天就是做功德这个习惯。那比如说这个月份呢，是我们南传这个功德的月份，所以呢，我们华人会在这个月份呢做功德来回向给我们的这个已故的亲人所以我们讲这种分享的功德，它不会使你的功德减少，反而会让你的功德呢倍增。OK 所以是这一点。Yeah, so this is the dedication of merit. Yeah. So it is not easy to help the departed ones to do the meritorious deeds. When I say it is not easy, means if the merit is to be successfully passed on to the departed ones, the condition is that he must be reborn in the ghost realm. Okay? Then among the many living ghosts, he must know that his relatives are sharing merits with him. Then after he knows that his relatives sharing him merits, he must have the thought to rejoice the merit. Then only in this way, the merits made by relative can be shared to the departed ones. Okay? 所以当我们在做这个功德的时候呢，其实也不是很容易的，就是这个不容易呢，是指说，假如功德要很成功的就是分享给这个往生者呢，那当然要有条件，这个条件就是他一定要在这个六道的众生，而且投身在这个鬼道众生。那当然在这个鬼道众生呢，他必须要知道他亲人正在做这个功德回向给他所以呢，知道亲人回向功德给他之后呢，他必须要升起这种随喜功德的心。那唯有这样子的话呢，亲人所做的功德呢，才能够传达给这个往生者 好，所以呢，这个经文大概这个 so this dedication of marriage is from the Janusoni Suttas, okay? So yeah, it mentioned 3 things, right? It says that when we were wander round and round in samsara, from the beginningless time, it is not difficult to find our relative who have reincarnated in the realms of hungry ghosts. Okay. The second one, only hungry ghosts are benefited from the merits that shared by his relative and friends. Beings from other realms will not be benefited. Okay, so this is the second. Then the third from this sutta is that if his departed relatives are not born in the realms of hungry ghosts, his many other departed relatives born in the realms of hungry ghosts are also benefited. So it is not difficult to find our departed relative who have reincarnated in the realms of ghosts. And so there is a reason for us to keep dedicating merits to the departed relative or ancestors. 那么这个回向功德呢，在这个声闻经里面也是有谈得非常清楚的那当然这部经也谈到了3种的知见就是值得我们了解的。第一个就是讲到众生呢，在长远的轮回之中，其实我们不能找到就是投身在轨道的这个亲戚，这是一点。那第二呢，就是唯有轨道的这个众生呢，才能够获得由家人或亲属所做的这个功德。那投身在其他的这些其他道的这个众生呢，是没有办法获得的这些功德的。第三，就是做回向功德给已故的家属没有投身在这个恶轨道，比如说，那他其他已故的家属就是过去的就是还是有些投身在这个轨道的里面。所以呢，回向功德给已故的亲属呢，其实我们永远都做不完。所以呢，我们经常会一起就是已故的亲戚回向功德给他们，不管他们投身在哪里一定还有其他的亲属呢，将会获得这些功德的。Okay, so usually how we do it, right? This is a common phrase like idang me ngati nang hotu sukita hontu ngatayo, right? So that this merit accrued to our departed relative, may they be happy. 我回向是功德，会给我的亲人愿他们这个快乐。Okay, so this is a conclusion. So when we are doing marriage, right, we will suggest to share with all the departed parents and relatives wherever they're born, right? So no matter where they are reincarnated, there must be other relatives who are unfortunately reincarnated in the realms of hungry ghosts, will be benefited. 所以呢，最后呢，不管怎么样就是当我们在做功德的时候呢，我们都会建议就是回向功德给一切已故父母和亲属，不管他们投身在哪里一定还有其他投身在恶轨道的这个亲属呢，都获得这一份的这个功德。So finally, we need to have a proper understanding with regards to the realms of hungry ghosts. Then we should not be afraid of, and they usually come to us because they're asking for helps and support, and so we should treat them with loving kindness and compassion. So at the same time, we should also take the example of those who are reborn as a ghost as a lesson, right? To stop doing evil and doing good, right? And having thought of shame and fears when doing bad things, right? Maintaining lovely bodily act, right? Or speech or mind, then keeping 5 precepts, dedicating merits with the ancestors and relatives, and more importantly, not to be feared of ghosts, and don't miss opportunity to help them. 所以最后呢，我们对鬼神也要有正知正见我们不应该感到害怕他们找上我们其实是有原因的，是来求助我们，所以呢，我们应该做功德给他们。同时，我们应该也要以正知正见，就是以慈悲心来看待他们。所以当然我们也要以就是投身为道鬼界这个例子来做借鉴，就是我们呢要止恶行善我们要有这个惭愧心我们要努力的守好自己的身口意业，对不对？要持好这戒律我们要积极的行善积福同时呢我们也要将这个功德回向那而不是呢就是对这些鬼道众生抱有这种恐惧无知的心态而错失了帮助他们 Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, Pande, for a very interesting and educational and informative Dhamma talk this morning on 7th Lunar Month Ghost Festival, a very relevant topic during this 7th Lunar Month, especially on the topic of ghosts, a topic that many of us still find it very mysterious, and some of us find it very scary, in fact. Thank you, Pande, for telling us what to do when we actually encounter ghosts, how we actually live safely in harmony with them. Now it's a time for Q&A. Brothers and sisters in the Dharma, is there any question you'd like to pose to Venerable Dr. Dhammapala? Bante, this question from Tan Kim Chu. What are protective sutta?
When we talk about the protective sutta, we are referring to the Parita Suttas. Okay, Parita Suttas mean they are like Karanyametta Suttas, Ratana Suttas. Are you a Theravada? If you are a Theravada, you know what I'm referring to, right? So these are the suttas. So in fact, I have started the suttas class mainly to teach those the Parita Suttas. Okay, so my purpose of having this Pali class is to let students know, or the devotees know, the meaning of the suttas, the grammar of the suttas, you see, and to understand better when they chant the suttas. Okay, it's not just only by word, how good your chanting is, but more important is to understand the meaning. Okay, so these are the Parita Suttas. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Pante.
A lot more Paritas.
Next question, please. This question from Jinna Yi. Pante, is mental illness such as depression or bipolar a form of ghost disturbance?
Okay, yeah. Usually when we talk about the mental illness, that is because you are in the very low frequency. You have a lot of stress. You suffered. You see, that's why cause you a lot of, cause you depression. So some people say, it's because of these disturbed by the ghost. But to me, I will look at it quite differently. I say, if you have depression, first of all, go and see the doctor. Okay, don't push all to the ghost disturbance. Okay, so go and see the doctor first, and of course at the same time, right, try to get yourself removed from that depression, and try to associate with a friend. I think to many people who have depression, I think their mind is very dark, right, and they are not happy, so they have to get someone whom they can talk to, you see, so that to make them to open your heart, so that their mind become more happy. And of course, if you can get the monks, to get advice from the monks, to get the chanting from the monks, I think all these things help to alleviate your illness. Okay, so it comes both ways. So I would not say it's due to the ghost disturbance, but cannot negate also.
Yeah, thank you, Pante, for a good explanation. There are many questions coming in, I can see, but I think because of time constraint, we just have 2 more questions, Pante.
Okay, choose a.
Yeah, this question from Meta Lodge, Sister Joyce Tan. Thank you, Pande, for meaningful sharing. I have a question. For those already passed on and appear in our dreams, are they asking for marriage, or is it because of our attachment to them?
Okay, so when you are talking about the dreams, I find it very interesting because in most cases we have the ghost entrust a dream, isn't it? 鬼托梦, is it? Ghost entrust a dream, and they will, you see, entrust a dream to those family members or their relative. You see, so say like for example, you go and burn the money for me because I live in the hell. I have no money, to pay for my 5G or anything like that. I don't know, no money. So anyway, do this kind of practice, right? Whether they need it or not, I think you see they entrust a dream, to the family members. In fact, they are not really wants to ask money. You see, instead, they're asking, they need more care and attention, and draw the attention from their loved one. You see, so okay, so of course in the forms of burning money, but of course this is not the case. You see, what they need is more the care and the attention from the loved one. So I think when you have encountered this, I think what you can do is to do the merits, or to consult the monks who have the right view, and to tell, and to do what next, to help the departed relative. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Pante, for the very good answer. There are many questions actually today. I think many people are very interested in this topic. I think we just have 2 more questions, Pante.
Okay.
Next, please. From Brother Michael Saul, do we read protective sutta every day, or just during Lunar Month Ghost Festival?
You develop the daily practice, daily practice. So you can read the protective sutta, just like reciting the Panchasila. You can recite the Panchasilas daily, similarly to the protective suttas. Okay, don't wait until the last minute.
Okay, then here, one more last question. This is a bonus question. Last question, please.
Pante, 请问企业普渡要每年做吗? I saw one from the Meta Lodge. So this one is in Chinese because you don't read Chinese. So of course. 这里讲到这个企业普渡要每年做吗？其实刚才有讲得很清楚了，就是可以每年做的，就是其实这一个节日不单只是做功德回向给我们的这个已故亲人，其实它也是一种就是佛欢喜日啦，或者是一种孝恩日这样子。所以呢，我们当然可以每次做，因为不是只是我们过去是父母，还有很多很多之前已经往生的父母，可能也是透过我们这样子的一个功德，他们可以获得。可以得到这个功德，所以可以每年做的当然讲说每年做，其实最好是每天都做就是我说的每天做是什么呢？就是每天在做功德，其实每天都可以将这个功德回向给他。就是在南传的，不一定是说在企业，其实每天都可以做的。OK。
Thank you, Pante. 谢谢你，感恩。Wow, so much interest in this topic. I think Pante will give one more last bonus question. Just one more question, last. Dr. Alfred, any more questions? Maybe you just have one more last question for Pante, then we close the session this morning.
Eric Tan said, "Hi Pante, where are you from?" I'm from Malacca. Okay, thank you.
If a person has third eye to see ghosts and she is very frightened, what shall we do? This one refer to yin yang eye, is it, Pante? Third eye.
Yeah. Okay, yin yang eyes, third eyes, 第三只眼了。
What should we do?
What should we do 哎呦，这个要讲长。
I think Pante just give explanation on what we should do during the talk.
What should we do? Of course, I have said, other than, you see, we can do the loving kindness, things like that. But I think I need to talk about the third eyes. I don't know what you mean by third eyes. 第三只眼. What is third eye? I think probably you refer to the ghost eyes. Or yin-yang eyes, okay? So usually people have this, that is to say, usually when we say people born as a ghost, they usually have a strong greed, right? Strong attachment, for their past life. So, this make them easier, to come into contact with a living person. Right? So, of course, ordinary people, cannot see them. But of course, there are some other people, those with, I don't know what you call the third eyes or the ghost eye. You see, there are certain people who has the ability to see this kind of beings, right? So, and of course, you ask me, why these people has developed this ability is because of their past karma, right? Their past karma. And of course, there are also cases, you say that, their fortune is very low, right? So, or sometimes we also say that some people are fallen sick, right? And their mental strength is very weak. And because of the weakness in their mental strength, you see, certain certain ghosts, okay, can manifest themselves to these people. And of course, there are also due to certain evil past karma has matured, so causing these ghosts to appear to some people, right? Particularly those with the ghost eyes. So I have said, how to overcome it. You see, you cultivate loving kindness, observe, perceive, cultivate mindfulness. You see, and transfer the merits to them. So this will help you and strengthen, or elevate your mental energy. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Pante. I think we have to stop here. There are so many other questions, but we have to apologize because of time constraint. We have to stop here. We once again thank you, Venerable Dr. Dhamapala, for the very interesting, educational, informative talk this morning, and also very good and profound answers to our questions. I think this morning session has given us a better understanding on the nature of ghosts and what we should do when we encounter ghosts, how we can live safely and harmoniously when we encounter ghosts. Thank you, Pante. Pante, Kanchi, Kan'en Pante. On behalf of devotees, we convey our heartfelt thanks and gratitude to Pante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Again,
Thank you very much, Venerable Dr. Dhamapala.
don't forget to share the merits.
Yes, it has been definitely a very interesting talk. I was really glued to all the devotees' questions, and there's so many of them. And in fact, I also would like to throw some questions. But wow, how nice that we can have another session of this 7 lunar month. It's definitely is. I think every one of us will agree that this talk is for all ages, from the young, middle age to the elderly. It's definitely a topic that we're all very curious of, especially when we're young. We have listened to the ghost stories. And anyway, thank you very much. You see how is it. Brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, this morning we have all participated in the Sunday Buddha Puja service and listening to the Dhamma talk with a calm mind. With the merits accrued, let us invite Venerable Dr. Dhamapala to lead us in the dedications of merits to all sentient beings, families, relatives, and friends, and to the departed relatives. The dedication of merits also include to the frontliners, example to the doctors and nurses, and to those who are in the hospital suffering from the effects of the COVID-19. This morning, we'd like to invite Venerable. Over to you.
Patidana, transference of merit. Akasata cha Bhumata Devanaga Mahedika Punyang Tang Anumoditwa Chirang Rakantu Loka Sasanang Chirang Rakantu Desanang Chirang Rakantu Mang Parang Etawata cha amhehi sampadang punya sampadang Sabe deva, sabe sata, sabe buddha anumodantum Sapasang patisiddhya Idang me nyatina hotu sukita hontu nyatayo Idang me nyatina hotu sukita hontu nyatayo Idang me nyatina hotu sukita hontu nyatayo Imina punya kamena mame bala samagamo Satang samagamo hotu yavanik banapatiya Idang me punyang อาสาวากายาวาโหตุอิดามิปุญญังนิบานัสปัจจโยโหตุสาธุสาธุสาธุ
Thank you very much, Venerable Dr. Dhammapala, for leading us in this morning's Sunday Buddha Puja service, and a very interesting Dhamma talk and the dedication to merits. Brothers and sisters, please continue to help me to thank Venerable Dr. Dhammapala. So, brothers and sisters, in the Dhamma, before we end, let us pay homage to the Tribhujans. Kudang Pujemi Dhammang Pujemi Sanghang Pujemi. To our Dhamma friends from everywhere, thank you for participating. To those who have stayed, I noticed many of us stayed until to the dedication of merits. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We have come to the end of this 56th online Sundays Buddha Puja service. Please take note, we do not have the usual Sundays Buddha Puja service next week, as we have another event, which is the 7-month Patidana. The next Buddha Puja service will be on Sunday, 29th of August. 29th of August. You may refer to the Society's Facebook for the poster for the information. It may be good that you share the link and posters to your family members and friends. Brothers and sisters, remember to follow the SOP. Stay safe, stay home. May you and family be safe, well and happy, peaceful always. Sukhi hontu, sabbe sattha sukita hontu.
Bahung sahan semabhinim mita sayudantang ngirimi kelang udita Sasena marang dana di dhamma vidina jitwa munindo tang ti